Ho, 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 and welcome to day 9 of our B2B Christmas calendar. At this point, hopefully you've got more Christmas calendars and you recognize me, but if not, my name is Harold. I'm the CEO, founder of Bureau Ventures, and we're happy to bring you this Advent and Christmas calendar in this Christmas of 2025. So I'm going to put my beard back on again to, to live into the persona of B2B Santa. So today, what we're going to do is that we're going to go into how to build a booking system that not only books, but it qualifies, filters, and primes your leads so that you don't need to waste time on meetings with unqualified prospects. Because who likes to waste time? Especially Bureau or B2B Santa doesn't like to waste time. So I'm going to give you one of my recipes for the Santa workshop and save time on wasted meetings. So by the end of this video, you will have a blueprint for how to go about creating your booking calendars so that you not only just book and avoid the cardinal sin that most companies do or make, and how you can get into the territory of highly performing sales teams. So let's dive into it. A bit of context. So this video is going to be going through the process of showing you the steps and these types of things. But down below this video, you will be able to see the general flow of things and access the resources and among the custom GPT that we've created to help you create one part of this system. So, and also by the end of this video, I'm going to give you a unique opportunity to how you can get help directly from us and learn how you can do certain things and implement this system together with the whole system that we have inside of your workshop for your company. So if you stick around, I'm going to tell you now, you're not going to regret it because B2B Santa has something in store for you. So the present of today is going to go into the process of building a booking calendar, how to structure it, what to put in place, and the structure for it all. Because most companies forget the whole purpose of it. So the very first thing, I'm going to zoom in a bit because I'm starting to be a bit nearsighted as my beard is turned white. So the booking system is the first one. You can use a lot of different systems for the actual booking. You can use Calendly, you can use Cal.com, you can use HubSpot's booking, but we use it You Can Book Me. And one of the reasons why we use You Can Book Me is because we can set up a custom calendar event in your calendar that you can set to availability to be free, and that's the only time someone will be able to book a time with you. So what I can do actually is I can show that when we get to the right point in this video. So, but the first thing that you need to do is, if you're using You Can Book Me, is to go to integrations and connect your calendar. So I already obviously have this set in place, but what I would then do is I would click connect on Google, or if I use Outlook, I would click connect Outlook. And that will connect my calendar to You Can Book Me so that I can select my calendar for the availability. And the next thing that we do is that we go to pages. So we create a new booking page. I'm just going to do individual because you have two options. Team, then you make it available to book for multiple team members. Individual is just for one calendar, and that's really what I would recommend. So I go next, then I select the team member that I want to have this for, and hit next step, and then I can select the length of the meeting and the typical availability. So this is what most booking systems have, is that they have this option of availability from and to. And that's good, but we want to make it even more custom because you might have limited availability. You don't want to be able to have a meeting being booked during times that you don't really want to be available except working hours. Because I know that as a founder and as a CEO, your days are flexible and you are unpredictable as well. So we select this. Now you give the page a name and you want to set the location. And typically we use custom location and we just add our Zoom link. We just keep it stupid simple. So finish and create, but let's go back to this one again. So one thing that we really like is you can set custom availability. So if you go to your calendar, and I have just a random week here in my calendar. If I add a new event in Google Calendar, I can select my calendar. So let's say I'm going to do the bureau calendar, and I have availability to be free. And if I call this event calls, this is the event I can select. You can book me to choose and show as my availability for booking meetings. And as you see in my calendar here, I have a lot of events called demo, and that's basically the same thing. So in You Can Book Me, you have a couple of settings. So if you go to when, you have the ability to do calendar managed and switch on calendar managed availability. And this is where you then can go for that event called calls or demo or meetings. You can select how you want it to be, but remember, this is case sensitive. So if you do capital M in your events in the calendar and select, let's say, lowercase m for meetings in You Can Book Me, they won't sync. So it needs to be one-to-one match. So what it then will do is that it will set within the availability hours that you have. So that if you select this, you can really just go the full day and do it like this and just do it done. And then even if it's like, let's say 5 a.m., if you don't have any events in your calendar called meetings, it will not show that as an available time in your calendar. So this is what we always do. Because that gives us so much flexibility that we decide in the calendar when we want to have time booked for us. And as a founder, that's paramount. So if we then keep on going in the guide a bit, the next thing that we want to do is the booking form. So most companies do the cardinal sin that makes Santa angry, and that is they don't use the form in the right way. So they have contact details, maybe what's your company, and LinkedIn URL, and that's really it. And they also or often have the default one, anything to add. Don't do that. You really want to have at least 3 information harvesting fields that tell you more about your audience than what you wouldn't been able to get unless you asked for it. And one of the things that we often do is we ask a couple of questions. So obviously, name, email, and what's your LinkedIn profile. But we ask, what's the product and services that you guys or your business offers? Because we need to understand what they do to understand, okay, is this someone or a company that we can even help? And then what's the goal and the purpose for the call? And what can I assist you with? And this tells us a bit about their why. Why did they take the step in the first place to book a call with us? Why do they want to talk to us? That tells us a bit more about if they're a tire kicker or if they're someone that is serious and actually looking for something and they have a bit of an urgency and are a bit desperate for something. And then last one for us, a disqualifying factor is that they don't have any revenue because then they can't afford what we have. So we ask that, and this is never an input field. This is a range, so it's a select. So 0 to 5,000 a month, 5,000 to 10,000 a month, 10,000 to 20, 20 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 250, 250 to 500, and so on. And then we have something called hidden question, which is a source tag, because then we can basically see where people come from. What's their source? Because every link that we have has a question mark source equals, and then a value in the URL. And that will load into the form so that we can see if they came from one page or the other page. So that's really the first thing. So in the booking form, you want to add those things. So one, you don't need first name and last name. You can just delete last name and just do name and just remove F and do name like this. So other than that, what we typically do, it is a short answer and we do, what's your LinkedIn profile URL? We call this LinkedIn. We do a required field and say, I'm just going to quickly add a couple of the other questions. So long answer, why did you decide to book a call with us and what can we help you with? Why? Required, we go on, we go to the next question. This is, I'm going to just do the revenue. So select or drop down. Actually, let's see. multiple choice it is. So what's your monthly revenue? Revenue drop down, we're going to do a couple, so under 5,000 a month. I'm just going to do fairly big ranges now, so like so, and this is also required. So this gives us just a drop down where people can select, and that's really it. So you don't really want anything here. This is just add-on text under the question. That's really it for forms, to be honest. And the last one is hidden question, and this is where we do source. So this allows us to, on the URL, the back of the URL, you question mark or an at, and source equals test source, and test source will then be loaded into that field. So when we see the booking and process it, we can get that shown. The next thing that you want to do is the calendar event. And the calendar event, you want to update this, and you want to give this a booking title, and you can actually just change this. So you can do it like this. So call name and Harold. This is typically how I do the naming convention. And then for the description, I typically keep this, but then I also have a link to my page after meeting or after booking. So booking, post booking URL. And I'm going to get to that now, because the next one, or actually this is the fourth one, so I'm skipping a bit ahead. So let's touch this later. The next thing that you want to do is notifications. And there are 3 baseline notifications we want to send. It's the booking confirmation, it's a 1 day ahead reminder, and it's a 1 hour ahead reminder. And the booking confirmation really wants you to restate the date and time, include how the meeting will be conducted, and where and how they can join. So if you do a Zoom meeting, booking after May, confirmation to booker, you want in here to not just use the default, you want to include how to show up. So if you use Zoom, if you use Google Meets, if you use Teams, add the freaking link, unless you want to make Santa angry. So that's really what you want to do. And one thing that you just also want to make sure of is that if you have a email subject, you want to change this, but I have a good thing for you. We have a custom GPT which you can open, and it helps you create all of this. So I want help with creating the booking confirmation day ahead and 1 hour ahead reminder emails with subject lines. So you can ask that, and it will query you about your business, the meeting, the purpose, those things, and it's going to draft out the full emails for you. So really you can replace this, but you want to make sure that you have those short codes. So booking page title, duration, ref, location. Actually, these you can remove. Booking form fields you can remove as well, because they don't need to see what they booked. But reschedule and cancel you want to have, and then you want to add your signature. Be added. So really that's it for the first one. The second email you want to have is the 1 day ahead reminder. So the way you add that is go to notifications, and it is reminders before booking, and you have reminder email to booker. So it's already set up by default in You Can Book Me, but you want to change a couple of things. So first name is just name, and you update this. So again, just use this custom GPT to draft the messages. But the ultimate thing is you want a simple ping. You want to promptly reset the time and date and how to join. But you also want to share a couple of social proof pieces, so like testimonials, client results, case studies. Add those in that email, because that restates and reconfirms for them that they made the right choice. And I also forgot to mention that is you want to have a further read in the confirmation email, so that people can click that and go somewhere to read and consume more content from you. The 1 hour ahead reminder is basically just a ping like, hey, here's we're meeting in 1 hour. Here's the link. See you there. So that's really it. And the calendar, we already covered that, but use this GPT. This is going to give you plenty. Now, the last thing that you want to do is the post booking page. So a lot of companies I've seen do this. They use the default confirmation page after booking. So in You Can Book Me, you have this, let's say, confirmation page. And here you have, thanks, first name. And it just uses this default, bland, boring page. It's horrible. You don't want to use it. You want to have a post-booking page because you want to harvest more information. You want to prime your audience. You want to get them in the right mindset so that when they show up for the call, first of all, they show up for the call. They're not just booking the call and no showing, but you also want to prime them. So we have a couple of ones here. So one way of doing it is to ask them to submit a questionnaire or form before the meeting, and you have the sample here. So this is one. So I have a video myself, like, hey, watch this video. 2, fill out this form. It's required. And it harvests more information about the person, the company, what they need, why they're booking, and qualifying questions. The other is you can have some that shows social proof and show them more about what they can expect from the call and from the service. So here's a one with my partner Lasse that goes through a bit, and then is some resources, a further read, and then we have social proof down below in terms of results from clients. So you want to have that, because if you don't, people are going to ask the question, how should I show up? Is it interesting? But by having this, it restates and reconfirms for them and reaffirms them that they made the right choice. It hypes them, it builds more credibility, authority, and it gets them invested. And all of those things tick the boxes that increases the likelihood of them showing up, so you reducing your no-show rate, but also it increases the likelihood of you being able to get a sale because you prime their mindset before they even jump on the call. So really, the ultimate goal of the post-booking page is to collect more information to qualify and segment your bookers and leads, filter out the not serious people, so the tire kickers, reaffirm that they made the right choice, and to build hype. That's it. So if you do all these things right, first of all, you have a booking calendar. So if you don't, get one, and then use the booking form to collect some initial information to get a grasp of who they are, to segment them. Do the reminder emails. So confirmation email, do that in the right way. The reminder 1 an hour, and the calendar event. And yeah, the calendar event should include the link to that post-booking page. And get a freaking booking page or post-booking page. You need it. It's going to help you tremendously. If you do those 4 things, you're going to have a really, really good performing booking process. You're not just going to have a page that says scheduled time on calendar. It's going to be part of your sales process, that it's going to increase the performance of your entire funnel, your entire marketing initiative, and your entire lead flow to convert better. So, and that's really it. So one thing that I promised at the end was to go more into a system for how this fits into the entire thing that we have inside of our workshop, and what can turn your marketing into a fully automated and hands-off engine. So if you bear with me for 5 more minutes, I'm going to show you something that you probably want to have implemented in your company, because every company that has implemented this have seen great, great results. We've implemented this with more than 60 companies at this point, and we generate more than 1.5 million impressions and generate more than 55,000 leads in the past 12 months alone. Leonard got more than 2,000 leads in just a couple of weeks. Pratik got more than 6,000 leads from just posting 2 posts on LinkedIn, and we have a lot more stories like that. So the system really consists of 3 parts. The first thing that you need to do is that, how do you even get the traffic to people to get to your booking page? And if you're a B2B, you're selling to other companies, you are likely a founder or an owner or a manager or director of sorts. Really, there are really 2 ways to do that to get started. It is inbound or outbound. And the inbound path is using LinkedIn posts to attract attention from LinkedIn and get people into your funnel or into your process. If you're here, you're likely seen some of the posts that we have and engaged with them. You've commented, then we got you. The other way is that you define your target audience, who your ICP is, the decision maker you need to talk to, and you fetch them from LinkedIn or other sources. And for that, you send an outbound connection request on LinkedIn using a tool like Get Sales to connect automatically and send follow-up automatically. But the core of both of these is that we create a valuable asset. This video is a valuable asset. It's an educational piece of content that helps the reader, the viewer, with something, or it teaches them something. So it helps us solve a problem or teach them about a particular opportunity. So we do both of these, and that generates the leads that you can push into your booking calendar. So the next step that we do is that we segment and enrich them so that we can do a couple of fancy stuff. No one that I've seen in B2B does this particular thing. So I believe if you do this in your company, it's likely going to have a huge impact on not being referral dependent, but being able to actually make your marketing work. Because a lot of companies that we speak to, they tried 100 things. The only thing that has really worked is that they're freaking good at what they do, and they've gotten referrals from clients and people they know. So in B2B, everything is trust-based. So you need to trust me to hire me. I need to trust you to hire you. That's the base premise of B2B sales. And one thing that we do is that once you grab your attention from the market, either through posting stuff or reaching out to people, you need to build trust. How can you build trust? The fastest way to build trust is to give people something that is valuable. So what we do is that we create several assets, or you create, or you should have several assets that educate and teach people something. Like this video. You run those on email so that you segment people based on engagement and you send it to them. And you do that on marketing on meta ads as well. This is not spending several grand a month on ads. $5 a day. That's it. So with this, you will be able to share more stuff, build more credibility, build more authority, build more trust and reciprocity, because you've given people stuff for free. They want to reciprocate that, let's say, generosity. So that is what we do. So you now have ways to generate the leads, you have ways to build trust with leads, and that brings them into your sales process. And your booking calendar then primes them and get them over the edge. And the final thing that we also do throughout all of this that you should do is build a scoring system. So whenever you get leads that open an email, click an ad, they click an email, they reply to an email, they watch a video, you tag them, you score them, so that you can segment your leads and all of your prospects into 3 buckets: cold, warm, and hot. And as soon people get into hot, that's a trigger for a sales team to reach out, or you to reach out, saying, hey, you've engaged with a lot of our stuff, fancy jumping on a call? Or I thought I could help you in this way. Or I would love to learn more about you to actually help you, because it seems that you've consumed a lot of what we have. You can build all of those different scenarios, but this system is the infrastructure and bedrock that helps you have such a system. So really, what this is that this is an engine that generates you the leads, and once it is set up, it goes on autopilot. It's what we call the AI-powered marketing automation. It's a system that works for you day and night, 24/7, well, even when you sleep, and you don't need to do anything than handle inbound queries. So really, if you want to see how this specifically would fit into your company, there's a button or a calendar down below on this page where you can go ahead, schedule a time with us, and get a personalized strategy walkthrough of this for your company. It's not committing to anything, but it allows you to learn more about how this architecture and infrastructure for marketing can help your company. So if you are dependent on referrals today, or you in general want to rely less on certain marketing initiatives, or you want to grow, go ahead and book that call, because I recommend you and I highly would encourage you to explore how this could work. Because every company that we've implemented this with, it's worked. It's just a question of if they implement it. So again, that's the ambitious B2B Santa talking. But again, that's it. So at this point, you've learned more about the booking process, how you can do that. You have the custom GPT, which can help you generate your booking scripts or the emails and reminders. And you've learned about a system that you probably should have in your company to help you grow further to match your ambition in terms of what you want to make out of the company that you've built and that you're building. So with that, I hope you found day 9 of our Christmas calendar valuable. And if you want it all the way at the top, all gifts, sign up and you will get all the 24 that we have. If not, book a call and I will see you in some of the later calendar days. Ho, ho, ho. B2B Santa checking out. Wish you a great rest of your day.